Alright. Hello everybody out there. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in for another video with the Roughrider guy. We got a little bit of white stuff here. Not much, mostly just a little bit. Supposed to snow a little bit tonight. So maybe we will have a white Christmas. Like I said, it'd be nice to have a little bit, but I don't want too much. I'm not into shoveling. Been feeling a little under the weather the last few days, but dog told me get going. We gotta go for a walk. He's the reason I get out here on the bike paths here, and he can go do his squirrel hunting and I can get a little bit of fresh air. But caught some sort of bug and still not feeling too great here. Probably be a shorter walk today. What's happening in the CFL? They put the schedule out, and I think this year Reynolds he addressed a lot of issues that fans had, and even when I was talking to him at the green and white game, people brought up a lot of the things that he improved this year. I imagine it's him that sits down with the league and Ambrosi. The league put a lot better schedule out, especially for the Riders. Well, I guess everybody, because everybody at least plays each other twice. You know, last season some teams only played once, and some teams didn't even come into Mosaic and play. Like, how hard is it to have at least each team have a home and away games, you know? But this year they all seem to have that too, at least play twice, have home and away games. And we only have one Thursday night game, which is a big plus for the travelers like myself. I'd like to have them like the Friday or any games start earlier, but that's because I'm off and can leave any time during the day, where some people work and they got to take some time off work to get there if it's an early game. But for the Saturday games, they've moved them up, made them more family friendly. You know, that helps a lot. And overall, I think they did a pretty good for the Riders this year. We've only got one real shorter time between games and travel, but nothing like last year. So we've got plenty of time between games. A lot more favorable than last season. And I like playing BC and the Stamps last. That could have a lot of implications for the playoffs near the end. You never know, they could be useless like this year, but it's good to be playing Western Conference teams at the end. We don't play the Stamps so well in the end, but that's strange. But we play Edmonton 3 times, Winnipeg 3 times. All in all, the schedule, really can't complain. You know, it's a lot better than last season anyway. So Reynolds actually listened to the fans, and especially for the traveling fans and families, you know, they did a lot better with the times as far as I'm concerned. I can't please everybody, but for me it was a lot more favorable schedule. She's only a little bit till Christmas. Free agency's still a long ways away. People are getting all on O'Day's case about not getting anybody signed, but nobody's really signing people real quick yet. You can't even they say, well, should have been after this guy or that guy. Well, you can't go after him till the date, and you can talk to him a bit before. I'm sure there's lots of it going on, but legally you're not supposed to talk to him till something like 10 days or 5 days before. Some clause in there, but before the free agency date. But until that time, guys can sign anywhere. There's a couple guys I'm getting nervous that they haven't signed. We need that CJ Revis and Sean Bain signed. If we can get them signed, it'd be nice. Those are my two wish lists for off that free agency list for Christmas. Nice to have them done before Christmas, but I doubt it. Anybody that's smart, they'll wait right till near the deadline, because it's all about money. All about money. What I'd really more concerned about at this point is still haven't really filled any of our coaching positions, and they're starting to fill now in other places. Edmonton took our old defensive back guy. He went to Edmonton, and it looks like Shivers is going to go to Edmonton. So Shivers had to go because no defensive coordinator job here. They also signed one guy, what is his name? Jerry and Ely or something like that. Guy out of Old Miss. He's got some good stats in college, but smaller guy, 5'8", 185 pounds, and lighter guy. He must have the speed being that size, and he runs back kicks, so maybe he's going to be competition for Alfred. He had started off the season, first part pretty good, but in the end it seemed to be going nowhere fast. So that'll be some competition for him. He's a free agent, so maybe they won't even sign him. Big age difference there. This kid's 23. I think Alfred is 31. So, he's getting up there for running backs, and maybe he can fill a spot in the running back position too, where they never seem to use Alfred. This Ely guy, he's got some credentials about pass receiving too, so we'll see. He'll be in camp, I guess. A couple we did re-sign, Miles Brown, glad to see him back, and Amari Henderson, a defensive back. I'm glad they did sign Brown. I prefer him over Christmas. They're both fairly equal, but I like that Brown. I watched the defensive lines and offensive line pretty close, and I like that Miles Brown. It'd be nice to get Mika back, but I think Mika, with his age, he's only good for about half the plays, so be handy guy for experience for the other guys, and he can definitely play 50% of the snaps, that's for sure. Well, like I said, it's early for signing all those other guys. Anybody worth their weight, like Betts, and there's a few guys, Hajak or whatever his name is, Ajak, or in BC, he's the linebacker, Canadian. I'd like to see them try to go after him, replace Tetz with him, be a bonus. But a lot of these guys will wait, see what kind of money they can get. Like, money is real tight in the CFL. Our salary cap, I think this year is only 5.6 mil. But this year, I think a revenue sharing kicks in. They get a certain percentage of the revenue. I think it's the first year for that. I don't know, really positive, but I think it is, and that'll help player salaries. It might attract far more people with the chance of might getting a bonus with revenue sharing. But we just can't compare it to the NFL. They're like the kings and queen of football, and we're the peasants. You know, their salary caps 225 million. You know, minimum salary is 750,000. We don't even pay our quarterbacks that much. You know, like everybody said, Rorik, oh, he should be playing in the CFL. You know, at least he'd be playing, but he made about 385K, and now he's actually on the roster, so you never know. Like, he's got a chance of making big bucks and getting a lot of good experience down there in coaching. Back here, the train noise gone down a bit. What are we talking about? All money. Yeah, that's one of my big pet peeves actually in the CFL, is how they record and tell the fans how much each player signed for and how much they each get of the pie. Like the CFL, it's like pulling teeth trying to figure out how much a player's paid. Exact opposite in the NFL. You can pull up in several places how much each player is getting and how much cap space they use up. Take for example last night with Monday Night Football with Seattle playing in Philadelphia. You know, I love bringing it up on the computer, how much these guys are playing, even when the game's going, and then you realize, boy, that guy's good. How much is he getting paid? Oh yeah, $4 million a year. Wow, 48 million cap base. Unbelievable. You know, and I like seeing how they divide up the money between the talent. You know, it really makes a big difference of how you divide up and how you play it. And you know, a lot of people are on O'Day's case about this and that. Well, you really can't be a general manager, have a feeling of how he's doing, unless you know exactly how he's dividing up the cash, which is a major part of being a general manager. So that's so crazy. I don't know why they're so tight-lipped in the CFL. It just doesn't make sense. Come on, Ryan. I know it might be a privacy thing, but they're public people are playing for a pro sports team. Most teams you have no trouble, don't matter what it is, hockey or anything, but any problem finding out how long their contracts are for and how much they're getting paid, any bonuses, all that stuff is relative, and a big job for the general manager. And without any of that information, judging a general manager is awfully hard. And CFL, if you're listening, publish that stuff. You know, get the fans involved. So what if you get some criticism this way and that? Maybe they're embarrassed because they don't play their players very much, comparable to the NFL. you know, they're comparable to the other leagues basically, you know, but NFL, it's impossible to keep up to that kind of cash unless they can get TSN to cough up more money for their broadcast rights, which I have another pet peeve of mine. You know, what else have they got to broadcast? That's pretty important, I think, for a sports network to cover your Canadian football. They don't cover it enough as far as I'm concerned. They should be covering more college sports too. At least CBC could be too. A lot of good ball in college in Canada. I'm sure there'd be some sort of sponsors they could pick up to cover that sort of stuff. Yeah, I really get upset when I try to find out, well, how much did they sign Willie for? Because that's going to make a big difference how much that Betts gets. You know, how much is Betts going to get? You know, comparable to Willie. All very interesting stuff, and not a squeak. Unless somebody out there knows where they can find this stuff. Some of your 3 Down Nation guys and that seem to be able to get some of that. They got inside info, but an ordinary Joe like myself, it's impossible unless I don't know where to look. Anyway, that's about all I got to say today. I better cut this walk short today. I'm suffering here. Stomach still isn't right, and better get back to the house here and lay back down. I'll put this video out later. Again, thanks everybody that subscribes. Do me a favor, get one of your buddies to subscribe, or anybody that's got a YouTube channel, just hit that subscribe, even if they don't watch. I'd like to get at least another 100 or so. Then they're gonna have to start taking notice down at the Riderville of how many people are on my channel, and they might let me get closer to the players here come training camp days. Be nice to get in there and talk to a couple of them, just ask them everyday questions, like I did with Sean Baines last year. He just came over and started talking to me, and with more subscribers they'd have to start taking notice. Anyway, thanks for watching, appreciate every one of you. Put down in the comments what you think about this no some security around their salaries, and who do you think we should sign here as quickly as possible. And till next time, y'all take care and go Riders go.